Happy Self Love Sunday, ladies. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that your journeys are going well. This morning, I wanted to come and have a conversation with you because I was talking to somebody recently and it prompted me to remember something. I remember when the first time someone told me, I was going through some relationship type issues, right? And I was kind of like, I guess, distributing some behaviors that were unbecoming, right? So they were like, well, you need to love yourself more. Like you wouldn't, do those things or you wouldn't have those things done to you if you, and I'm looking like, what are you, like, what the hell are you talking about? Right? Like, I don't know. Like in my mind, it was just like some cliche thing to say in the middle of a conversation, never realizing that that was going to be the key to everything. But I also felt like when people say like, what do you mean? Like, what does that look like? Because that's my personality, right? I need to understand, visualize, see what does that look like, right? So it prompted me to start, really jotting down, the journey to self love, right? And I want to kind of talk today about one of the most important ones. I swear, I think this is the most important, and it's self awareness. If you don't know why you feel the way you feel, why you even love the way that you love, why you do the things that you do, why things trigger you, why are you around certain people, right? You will never fully get to the healing in love and understanding of you until you do those things. So one of the first things I did was I sat down and I made this list, right? And because in my mind, right, it's like, listen, if this is what it takes to not do that shit again, this is what I'm gonna do. But at the time, because you don't realize, but at the time, I'm just like, I just don't want to do that again. So I sat down and I made this list, and on this list was the things, because I didn't want to kill myself out the door. So I started with the things that I love the most about myself. Then I went into the things that I was not so proud of about me. Then I went into all the people that hurt me as well as all the people that I hurt. Because forgiveness is a huge part of this. And you think forgiveness of others, but it's truly harder, especially depending on your personality, to forgive yourself than it is to forgive other people. So that was one of the biggest things for me, was actually working on forgiveness of myself. Like, how could I do that, right? How could I do that to people? But I realized that throughout this journey, that if I did not deal with this emotional baggage, all I was going to do, bag lady, is carry it from relationship to relationship. And I'm talking about friendships too. A lot of times I'm having these conversations, I'm not just talking about significant others. This encompasses all relationships, whether it's your families, your friends, or whatever. And let me be 150% clear. I am still, working through things today, because I realize in this microwave popcorn society world, there are some things that are just going to be a marathon. They are not going to be a sprint. In self love and healing parts of you that have been, damaged for so many years, it's going to take some time. It's kind of like the weight gain, right? You didn't gain all of this weight, overnight. So you're not going to lose it overnight, although people strive to get to that point quicker. But I find that if you take the marathon route, those things tend to not come back, right? So I even had to work on developing patience, because I didn't have an ounce of patience. But I didn't have. If you don't have patience for yourself, you can't have patience for other people. That's why I had none for others, because I didn't have it for me. So I had to develop patience so that while I work through this list, I can love myself through it, as opposed to beating myself up, about it. Right? It's you just don't realize how things are so connected to your past. For example, right? If you find that you're a person that tends to gravitate, fight, and pull for love from emotionally unavailable people, if you dig a little bit deeper, you might find that that is a direct result of you feeling emotionally neglected throughout your childhood. And so therefore that was the type of love that you're used to. So you turn into this guilt-ridden, people pleasing, attention seeking personality as you grow up. And let me say this. This When I mention childhood issues, right, I want to be solely clear that I'm not talking about what your parents may or may not have done to you. I'm talking about how the way you perceived it, processed it, and carried it. So now this is with you. So those are the things that you need to work on. And that was something that slapped me in my face. Like, damn, why does, all these emotionally unavailable when I'm constantly pulling and pushing and prodding, for love and then again friendships as well, right? And it's like, it's always, this constant pull with the hopes that one day, just one day, they will love me the same. Girl, I had to like wake up. But that was all because I had some healing of my own to do. So now that I've got that and I understood, what it was that was kind of like triggering me, I had to take some steps to work on it, right? So the first step again was self-awareness. Being self-aware is everything, guys. It will shape your relationships so differently. You will begin to see when you start doing this work. Let me tell you what, you'll begin to see who really likes you and who doesn't. You will begin to see why you're choosing the partners and people that surround you in your life. It really, really opens up, what people consider your third eye, right? When you start working on these things. So I really want to keep the first step in focus because a lot of people haven't even started with the first step. And then it's like, well, sometimes you're really not that self-aware. So you have to find people who genuinely love you and care for you, and sit down and have a conversation about how they perceive you and how they see you. Sometimes there's nuggets in that. And if you have kids, ask them. I found that the kids are one of the most honest, brutally honest people. I remember my kids used to call me the warden. It's like the warden. Like I didn't see myself as a warden. I saw myself as a person who did not play and didn't go for no foolishness, and who believed in discipline as well as respect, right? But like warden, like I didn't see that. But that was one of the things I had to wake up to. That was their perception of it. So, and it was something that I wanted to work on and fix. I didn't want to be my kids' warden, you know what I mean? But they were brutally honest with me, and that's something that I worked on, and it was really, really important. I think it shaped the relationship that I have now with my younger kids. It's a very different relationship because 9 times out of 10, you don't want to go to a war and express what's going on with you, right? Because you don't feel like you're going to get the love or reciprocation that you need back. So that was important to me. I want my kids to come to me for everything. So I worked on that hard and it worked. So I throughout these weeks, I want to keep working on, providing you steps to help you grow with your self-love. So, and when past trauma, right? I want to say this before in this video, because I should have mentioned it earlier. How did I go about working on those things to heal them? I'm going to say it every single time because I think it's important. I sought out a therapist. Why am I going to keep saying that? Because I want to break down the stigma and the stereotype that you have to look a certain way, be a certain way, or be totally crazy, or, whatever that thing is that's out there when it comes down to mental health and the therapist. The bottom line is there are people out there that will help you and aid you on your journey to becoming the best you can possibly be, so that you can go out in this world and set this bitch on fire by living your purpose and your passion. And a therapist just happens to be one of them. Okay? The reason why I am sane at this moment in time in my life is because I had a therapist there to help me through my grief and my trials and tribulations and help me heal some of those past trauma issues so that I can even get to the point of talking to you today. So that is a beautiful thing. And if you have to seek out that direction without letting anyone know, do that. Because I didn't announce that I was going to therapy. I just went. I didn't need anybody's personal opinion about me becoming a better person today. I didn't need anyone telling me, oh, you just go talk to the pastor and all this other. Like, listen, I think there is a time and a space for that too, right? But I also think that there is something deeper sometimes and you need to go. to deal with those deep rooted issues. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. Get started on your list. If you don't know, talk to someone, self-aware, or listen, watch how you respond and react to certain people and certain things. Watch how your body feels when you're around certain people. Oh, it talks to you. That feeling in the pit of your stomach, that anxiety, that fear, that, oh my God, I got to go talk to her or I got to go deal with this, right? All of that's talking to you. Listen to it. It's your instinct. Start to trust yourself before you begin to trust others, and then you will trust others more. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. I will talk to you next week.